Okay, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to finish off covering what we started in the last video, which was building out the full course section. So what we've done is, in the last video, is we actually built out the introduction section. We built out section 1, created an agenda, and created a data set linking it to our kind of video topics that we've drafted up. And I also created a repeater down here, which we are going to connect to the same data set and link to all of our videos and video names as they flow through. So I showed you kind of the steps how to create that repeater. I also said in the background that I would tidy that up and make the style probably more consistent with the one at the top, which I've done. I did that in my own time, so as not to take up yours, and also the fact that your design might end up being completely different. It's completely up to you how you want to style your own video. So I'm not going to kind of take up my time with my own design style cues. So for the rest of this video, what we're going to do is we're going to finish off the section 1 section. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to repeat that, duplicate that out so we can get to section 1, section 2, section 3, and actually complete the full course building blocks. After that, we're not going to do the trial course page. We might just leave a placeholder for that. We'll do that in this video. But again, the reason that we're not going to invest in creating a full trial course is because, as I said in the last video, is that it's essentially going to be a replication of the full course once it's fully complete, but instead of it being accessed, the full access, we're just going to basically restrict each of these data sets to only showing a handful of videos rather than the full videos. That way people can see a sample of each in each section and get a taste whether they like it, and then actually purchase the full course at that point. If we have time, we're also going to try and cover off on these about contact and probably delete this page over here, which appears to be a carry forward from bringing on the content manager onto the website. Okay, so let's get started by duplicating section 1, header, agenda, and videos, so that we've got basically 3 sections ready to go. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to go to zoom out and reorder. That's the easiest way to basically duplicate sections rather than recreating them from scratch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate one of each. So I'll duplicate this, I'll duplicate this, and I will duplicate the videos. I noticed that Wix, as I mentioned in an earlier video, creates these annoying kind of blank spaces when you do that, but that's okay, really easy to fix. You just click essentially the delete white space or blank space section. Okay, cool. So we've got 2 of each. Let's delete that extra space that's just been created. So let's delete that there. And delete. Okay, didn't create one there. Okay, next what we're going to do is I'm just going to move this down right to the bottom. Okay, that's perfect. And then I'm going to move the next section agenda down. Actually, before I do that, see the data set's been duplicated as well. I'm just going to exit out of here because we only want 1 per section, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this one up here and connect it to that one there. Cool. So it's now connected to that strip above it. So I'm just going to zoom out now. Okay. And I will continue moving these down. So I'll move this one down so it's just below the second header. Okay, so we've got section 2 sorted, and section 1 looks good too. I might just create a third one really quickly, just because my own course has 3 sections, and if you're going down the easy, medium, difficult, or advanced route of splitting out your videos in your design section, you probably want 3 sections as well. It doesn't have to be 3, could be 4, could be 5, could be 1, could be 2. I recommend having a few different sections just to kind of split it up into different kind of areas, whether it's the conceptualizing it, whether it's the designing it, whether it's the building, whether it's by difficulty or some other allocation. I think it is important to kind of split up your course that way. Just makes it easier to kind of, I guess, really kind of separate it into each of the stages of the build or the learning process. Okay, so we've got our agenda and we've got our, did I do that right? So we've got one there, one there. I think we need one more of these, do we? Or are we good? We might be good actually. Da, da, da. Okay, I might have created one too many. Okay, so we've got, all right, section 1, agenda, videos. Section 2, agenda, videos. Perfect. Section 3, okay, so we need another agenda. Agenda. I'll move that down. I'll delete this space. I'm just going to exit out and move that data set up as well. Same issue as before. Just give me 1 second. There it is. Oops, I dragged the whole strip, so I'm just going to undo that. Okay, so I've selected that. Alrighty, cool, so that's done. Let's go back into the zoom out mode now. Okay. Okay, so we've got the full course, we've got the introduction, we've got section 1, that's sorted. We've got section 2, we've got to rename that, but that's all good. I will move this down now. Okay, cool. And then just to conclude this, we just need a duplicate of the video section as well. And those images, by the way, they're just a placeholder. We'll update those once we upload the videos to YouTube. So you can ignore that for now. And then I'll move this one down and delete the excess space that was created. Okay, so this is section 3. We've got the videos, and I just gotta, this one's out of order. Gotta put the agenda first. Almost done. We're almost there. Okay, perfect. Cool. So I'm now gonna save that. And then go exit. Don't forget to save regularly so you don't lose any work. If you randomly lose your internet connection, you don't want to, lose a day's work, for example. So just like in Microsoft Office, you want to save as regularly as possible as you're going through this process. You really don't want to have to recreate it. It's very painful. Okay, so, all right, so just to recap, we've got section 1 done and dusted for now. So that is all good. Let's have a look at section 2, see what we need to do there. We're going to have to create a new data set for section 2. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is just rename our section here for section 2, which again is going to be dependent on how you've kind of set out your course structure, which we covered in the designing your course section, or if you haven't watched that, we will cover. So for me, this is section number 2, designing your course. So I'm going to need a little bit more room up here. So I'm just going to extend this. Okay. Edit the text. Section 2, designing your course. Okay, so it's probably going to go over 2 lines now. There we go, it's been pushed down. That's probably okay. I'm just going to resize it then so it fits within the 2 lines on this page. It'll just create a better experience for people on different devices when it has to resize your web page. So that's probably okay as is. We also probably want to update this text down here, just explaining what this section is about. So for me, it is, this bit's about planning it. It's about setting out your points in advance. So this section shows you how to thoughtfully set out and plan each talking point in your course, including a schedule of videos, topics, talking points, as well as testing your course with your audience and refining. Again, this is just a placeholder text. I'll fix up any spelling mistakes, grammar, and improve the points as I go. This is just a placeholder to show you the building blocks of the course, and we'll refine this over time. Again, this is just for my course. Your own course, it's really dependent on, what topic you're teaching, how you've laid it out, etc. So just have a think about what kind of points you want to include there. So next, for section 2, we're obviously going to have to update the data set as well. So it's still connected to section 1 concept. We're going to have to create a whole new data set now, which is linked to our template. So talking about each of these points here. So I'm going to go back to the content manager, and we're going to have to create a new data set or a new collection. So right now it's taking me to section 1, the concept, but if I click back, it's going to take me to the content manager and show me all the different items. I'm going to actually remove this one because this was the default one that came with the collection when we signed up for this content manager on Wix. I'm now going to create my second collection, which is section 2, again, linking back to this, my template, which we will build in this designing your course section of the course. So I'm going to call this one section 2, designing your course. So I'm just going to copy that. Oh, I think I just need to refresh this. Okay, so that's popped up on screen now, and we're going to call this one section 2, designing your course. And we're going to follow all the same settings that we covered in the first collection that we created, and it's the exact same process for how we built out section 1. So we're going to create kind of 3 headers. We're going to create one which is kind of your sort. We are going to create a header for the video name. Call this video name, and this one's going to be text, so that's fine. And then finally, we're going to create one for video URL, which normally we would just type in the actual URL of the video we've uploaded to YouTube. But again, we haven't done this yet, so we're just going to leave it blank. And we're going to select from the field type URL because we're going to populate it with URLs of the videos. Okay, so that's basically all we need. We're going to basically type all of the topics that we want to include, but cheat sheet, we can just copy and paste. Whoops, that didn't work very well. Worked last time. So let's try again, maybe with 2. I think, oh, that's right. So you need to actually highlight the number of rows. So we've done the first 2. Let's try again. We'll try and get to the bottom. Okay. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool, I think that worked. And then if you remember from last time, we had the issue with the blank rows. We just want to delete those as well. And we also just want to add in the sort. So if we just type in like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so later we can actually just sort it by alphabetical order, and that way it's always going to show up in the right order. So that's perfect. That's all we needed to do. As I said before, we haven't got the video URL yet, so we'll just leave that blank. And now what we need to do is connect this little Excel thing to section 2 concept, so we can then link in the other sections into the section 2 dataset. So let's go settings, click settings, and instead of section 1 we're going to change this to section 2, and that should hopefully update. It's going to give us a warning about changing the collection, that it's going to have a flow through impact because other elements are relying on this dataset. That's fine because we do want to update those. We know that these ones down here are connecting to the wrong dataset, so we want to update it, so that's fine. So now you can see that's flowing through dataset 2. We would just want to just make sure the sort is still working, so let's just add sort there just to make sure that the videos show in the correct order when that they do actually load. But otherwise everything else looks fine. So we're just going to add a sort, go by sort, which was the first name of the field in the data set we created, and that's in alphabetical order, so that's good. We just want to be careful that we don't have more than 12 videos in the data set, otherwise it's not going to show all of them, but I think that's fine. We've only got 7 I think for now, so that's all good, just something to watch out for. So I'm just going to click X now. I'm just going to save it. It should update in the meantime for hopefully the section and the repeater down here. If not, we just might need to relink it back to this section so that it flows through. So let's click on this one. First of all, the agenda, just make sure that it's selecting the right data set. Let's have a look. So you can see it's green, which means it's connected to a data set. We just don't know whether it's connected to the right data set. And I don't think it is because it hasn't updated yet. So let's click this green button again. Oh, you can ignore that. Let's click this green button. It's going to say connect to a table. We just want to make sure that it's connected to section 2, designing your course. Okay, so that's okay. As we suspected, it wasn't connecting to the right one. So let's click section 2, and otherwise, I think that's all good. We are having the same issue as we had before, where it's now then reverted back to a default of having 2 columns. We fixed that last time by going manage table, I think it was, and removing this first column, which is sort. We just delete that, and then it'll just have the video name. However, I don't think we connected it successfully, so let's just try again. We'll press connect to data. We must have clicked out of it before it saved. So choose dataset section 2, sort text video name. I think that's fine. Okay, so I can see the video names are flowing through correctly, which is good. Let's just try doing that step again where we delete this. Perfect. There we go. So now that has updated successfully, and we just need to just do the same for this repeater down here as well. So we're just going to click on this. We're going to click connected to data. And we're just going to update this so it is connected to section 2. Okay, so I've just done that now. And I'm just clicking through each of these. We just need to relink each of these sections. It's a little bit tedious, but that's okay. What I might do is I might just pause the video. I'll go ahead and update all of these so that you don't have to sit through it. But basically the general gist is you just need to make sure that each of these is connecting to section 2 rather than section 1, and just obviously do a sense check at the end to make sure that the text looks right, that the video looks right, that there's no general issues. Otherwise you've probably missed one of these connection options in here, going in and actually updating it to the next section. So video title is the video name, video source connects to video URL. Okay, so I'll just pause the video. I'll go ahead and update all of those for section 2, and then we'll move on to section 3, and then we'll probably wrap up this page for now. So I'll pause the video now. Okay, so I've gone ahead and updated all of that section 2 for you. I just noticed we have a duplicate. It must have been from down here. So I'll just drag this down here. I think this is meant to be the section 3 one. Okay, so we're going to go through the same process and update for section 3 now, which is the final section. So this will be actually building your own course, a live walkthrough. Okay, so that's what you're watching at the moment. Okay, so let's just edit this text. Okay. So I don't like how it's over 3 lines. I might try and condense that a little bit. We also need to add in the section 3 text. But I might just extend this first of all. Feel free to reduce the font size as well if you prefer to do that. It is a little bit ugly just to have it over so many lines. It's not very aesthetic. Okay, let's just extend that. Okay, perfect. What I might do is I might actually reduce the font size a little bit. We might have to go back and update the font size of the other ones as well, just so it's consistent. That's probably best practice, but hopefully that's enough room. Okay, let's call it section 3. Alternatively, we can get rid of this text at the end. Building your own course. Okay, cool. I think we might have enough room to make this back to the original font size now. Perfect. Alright, so let's just move this text up here as well. And resize this section. Oh, geez, what happened? Just gonna undo that. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I've updated that now. And we can just change this text to something like, this section walks you through step by step the actual process of building your course online, filming, editing and uploading your YouTube videos, and marketing your course. Something like that. I'll update it to something better a little bit later. But again, depending on what your own course is teaching, what your own section is, you need to come up with your own kind of text there. That's just an idea of what to write. And same process as before. Basically, we're just going to update the, we're going to create a new data set here. So we're going to go to settings, link it to a new data set. We're going to have to create one for section 3, link it to your design Word document. So create a new collection. Okay, section 3, building your course. Great. It's a little bit slow. I'll just get ready by starting to copy these topics. Just while it's getting ready. Okay, same process as before. So just going to change this to sort. Save that. This one is video name. That's text. and then video URL is the last one. Video URL. Change that to URL, save that, and then we just copy and paste into the video name. And eventually, once we've uploaded the videos, perfect. Once we've uploaded the videos, we can do the same. We'll have to go one by one through each of the YouTube videos, get the link, copy and paste it in here. And also don't forget to delete the empty spaces so it doesn't cause any issues on your website. Okay, cool. So that's the new content built. Then the next step, of course, is to then link it into your agenda and your videos as well. So same as before. We're also just going to add a sort into the data set, same as before, just shows up in the same order that we had it in earlier. And then, where is our little Excel file gone? It's gone missing. Oh well. We're just going to update the agenda so it links into section 3. Okay, section 3, sort column, text, okay. So we want to make sure that the video name is popping up, which it is now, perfect. I don't think it doesn't seem to be in the right order though. Did we put it in that order? Either way, we'll fix it up later. So we'll delete the sort column. So now it's just showing up there. And of course, we will need to connect this one as well. So we'll click the data set there. Data set, section 3, text, video name. Video player, video title should connect to the video name as well. Video source should connect to the video URL. And that's all we need to update, I believe. Background, perfect. Cool. So, okay, so we're pretty much done with this website. With this full course page. I think the only other thing that we need to just really probably do for this particular page is I think we said we would do anchors. And I think if we just have a quick look at the other website, just make sure we haven't missed anything. If we go back to the full course, what do you think we're missing? I think there was like a little thank you at the bottom that we could potentially include, something like this. And of course, I think maybe if we do the footer at some point as well, it's definitely helpful to have something like this. But I think what we'll do now is we'll just add in the anchors. So the way that you do that, yeah, it's definitely not in the right sort order. I think we just need to fix this. Let's just go settings. Yeah, so it's missing the sort. So that's why it's important to have this sort function on and actually linking to the right column and in alphabetical order. Otherwise it might default the videos in the wrong order and yeah, screw up your playlist. So let's go as sort. Field should be title or sort. A to Z, add sort. Perfect. Okay, so hopefully now once this refreshes, might have to save it for that to happen, is the agenda will update in the sort, as will the repeater. So let's just save that, wait for that to refresh, hopefully that should update, and then we'll just add in the anchors and we should be good to go with this particular page. Perfect, so you can see it's now updated the sort order there. Okay, so let's just add in the anchors and I'll show you how to do it. So first of all, what is an anchor? So it's basically these things over here, it's basically it's a line on the page somewhere that you set that when you click on a link or press a button, it takes you to that specific point on the page. It's important for a few reasons. Number one, for example, in this section, how we split it up by beginners, intermediate, advanced. Maybe you don't want to watch the beginners videos because you're a relatively skilled person, so you just want to go straight to the intermediate. So you just want to click on this link on the side. It'll take you straight there to that relevant point on the page. Or maybe you've got a really long page, as we do with a lot of our courses. We just click up here. We want to go back to the top of the page. You just click there and you're there. You can also incorporate it into buttons, as we said before. So let's say maybe you've already been through the beginners videos and you just want to go straight to advanced. You can click there. Instead of having to scroll down this really long page, it'll just take you straight there. I think it's really important on this full course page in particular, just because it is such a long page, and also for the other reason we discussed. So in order to actually create anchors for your page, what we can do is we can go add, just a little bit slow, there should be a section in here on anchors specifically. So here it is over here, so menu and anchors. So this basically has all the menus like we've got at the top of the page. We've got our site menu, but we've also got our anchors over here. Now what we want first of all is our anchor menus. So if you kind of like the design of this one over here, that's probably closest to probably one of these. So let's choose this one. So what we can do is you can just click it. It should now pop up on our page. However, we don't have any anchors quite yet, so it's just defaulted with top of the page. You can also change the design. So if you want to put the dots on the other side, if you want to change the color of the text, you can do that. Right, so at the moment, the only anchor we've got is the top of the page. So to add another anchor, what we can do is we just go add. And in the same section, we've got anchors over here. So what we can do is just drag it and drop or click it. Now I might add the first one to like our section 1 videos. So again, it's not normally this slow to do. Your computer should be a lot faster than this, just because I'm recording videos and filming webcam and got my audio at the same time. That computer's in a little bit of a overload. So trust me, Wix is usually a pretty good platform. It's very speedy. So I'm going to put my anchor there, and you can see it's aligned exactly there. So that means as soon as I click on this anchor, it's going to take them to this exact point on the website. So I'm going to rename this one. I'm going to call it section 1 concept. It can be a fairly long name if you like. But now, as you can see, our anchor menu has automatically updated. It also means that we can create a link somewhere else on the page and link it to an anchor, and now it'll take us to that specific place by choosing that anchor as well. Now we can repeat the process. You can either go through the same process and go new anchor, or what we can actually do, speed it up, is just click on the anchor, copy, paste it here. There we go. It's going to default with just anchor 1. Quite laggy. There we go. I'm just going to drag it there. I'm going to call this anchor 2. Sorry, I'm going to call this section 2 design. Perfect. And then I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to copy and paste this. Copy. And paste here. Great. There's our final anchor. Okay, renaming this one, calling it section 3, building your course. Okay, perfect. So I think that will take us through to the end of the video. think we'll end it there, and we'll just focus this particular video on finishing the full course page. You know, whether we create a trial page, you know what, let's just quickly do that. It won't take us very long because it's essentially just a duplicate of this page here. So we can always delete it later and come back and edit it. So let's just quickly duplicate this page, the full course page. So go duplicate. We're going to call this, we'll try and map this, we'll call it try free. Right, this is our sales funnel. So you can see we've now got a duplicate down here. I'm going to rename this one to be try free. Okay, so, and then don't forget to save as well. So you can now see that our menu at the top of the page has been updated. So we've got our home, we've got our purchase course, we've got our full course, we've got our try free course. We might actually try and move this one to the front so it goes in order. It goes home, try free. That's the funnel order we want them to go. We want them to go to the home page, get excited, then try the course free, then buy the course, then view the full course. So that we're going to reorder this. So we're going to go to the menu, we're going to drag this up. There we go. And the other thing that I want to do before we change anything is actually change the settings. So remember we said earlier that the full course was only accessible by members only, specifically those who had only purchased the full course. Well, for the try free, we want everyone to be able to access this. So what we're going to do is we're going to click everyone, right? Because we want everyone to try it before they buy. Okay, so that's the first thing we do. Now, to quickly update this free trial course, we're going to go try free. Okay. Now there's probably some extra things that we want to kind of add in here, like sales prompts and buttons and customer feedback and things like that. For now, we're not going to do it in this video. All we're going to do is really just focus on basically limiting the data set. So for all of these, we just want to connect this in. We're just going to go settings, and then we want to limit this to say 2 or 3 videos because we don't want them to view the whole data set. For some reason, this section agenda's got its connection broken, which we'll need to fix. All right, section 2. Did I type that right? Oh, well, we'll come back to that one. But really, really, we should only show this as 2 or 3 videos. Same for this one. When we find the data set for this one, we want to limit this to 2 on this particular page. This isn't going to delete anything. It's just going to say, based on this page, this is the connection set to the data in the back. This data set is limiting this page to view only X number of the elements from the data set. So if we change this to 2, hopefully this should only show 2 of the videos once this pops up. Okay, so we'll just change this to 2. And we might add like a text or something or a button that says, did you enjoy this? Click here to purchase the full course and act as another sales driver to get them, flowing through to the purchase page. Okay, so it's just taking some time to update. Okay, cool. So that seems to be working now. I've just updated this so that, we just changed the setting to only show 2. You can see here, saying number of items to display is 2, which means our repeater is only showing 2 items, which is perfect. We only want to give them a teaser, and then it goes on to the next section, as opposed to the full course, which would have shown all of them. Same for section 2, we can see that only 2 is showing, and then maybe later we can add in, as I said before, like a link or something, just to, basically prompt them to go to the purchase page above kind of each section. But we can do that a little bit later. This is just meant to be a placeholder. So the other thing we need to do is remove some of this excess space, because now that we've deleted the 15 or so videos, we've got all this blank space because we're only showing 2. So we can either just do it the same way I showed you before, which is click on this, go to Tools, Toolbar, and then just reduce the height of the particular strip that I'm selecting. So maybe let's try 1500 first, see how that looks. Just do trial and error and go from there. Okay, so that seems to be the strip there. So I'll just drag that up. Perfect. We do have this empty space here. It's not connected to a strip, so what we can do is we can just zoom out and just delete that excess space. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. Delete space, there we go. And then we just gotta do the same for section 3, which is, once it loads, we'll just basically update the data set similar to how we did for section 1 and section 2. We'll just update the data set to limit it to 2 or 3 videos. It's up to you. You can do more than that. You can do less than that. But it's just, the concept needs to be just a handful of videos. Okay, so we just got to find there it is, the data set. Go to settings and change this to, maybe I'll do this one to 3 because I think this is probably a better section. Adds more value, so I want them to see more of these videos, so I'm going to change that to 3. Now we'll just wait for that to update, and we might want to drag this a little bit higher because it's probably down to like the 5th video, 6th video down here, and we're only showing up to 3, so this is all going to be in the blank space soon. There you can see it just updated then. So we'll just go through the same process where we will resize this strip. Just drag this up here. Perfect, so that's on the second video now. And I will select the strip and resize it. Call it 1300 this time, try that. Cool, that was perfect actually. And yeah, we don't actually need to delete any extra space, so that's perfect. Cool, so that kind of takes us to the end of the try free page. So now the website's really starting to come together. We've got our home page, we've got our try free course. Obviously we need to do a bit more work and actually upload the videos and add some kind of sales funnels and things like that. We've got our full purchase page, so where they can actually purchase the course. We've got our full course where after the purchase of the course they can actually view the full course, and that's only restricted to people who've purchased that full course. Now the only other pages we really need to do is really the about page. This one's optional. I don't always do this page. For something that people kind of rely on the expertise or the knowledge of the teacher, it might help to do a page just giving a little bit of background on the person doing the course, what's their experience, blah, blah, blah. You don't need to do this. It might help for some customers, so we'll leave this as an optional for now. We'll leave that in there. Contact page, again, it could be an optional. This is just providing, contact email, FAQ, frequently asked questions, things like that. Again, you probably don't need it. You could just include like an email button up here instead of having a whole contact page, and that just leaves less buttons to press, because the more buttons and links you have, the less likely a customer is going to click them. So I might actually delete that contact page. And finally, the items page. This just looks like it was a remnant of the content manager when we brought it across. So you know what, let's just quickly delete the contact page and the items page. and I think we'll end the video at that point, because now we've got a fairly good looking structure and good looking website to start building from. Okay, so let's just delete the items page now. Cool. And there we go. Website's looking really good. So yeah, we'll next video we'll start actually building out some of the course. We'll update that about page, and we're, pretty soon we can actually start uploading, building that YouTube channel, updating the images. There's a lot more steps we need to go through, but it's looking really good at this point in time. So hopefully you found this useful, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.